Good afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Scents with me, Matt. How you doing? I hope you're well. We are struggling through here, so all is well in the Questioning Scents household, so all is good. Sorry it's been a long time since we recorded a video. There's been quite a lot of changes. As I've mentioned in previous videos, my wife's shift pattern has changed, and in my actual real job that's changed as well, so I've been having to go out and do some work too. So time is becoming incredibly difficult, but what we are going to do is try and put our foot down and steam through and get as many videos as we can up and out there. Just a quick, I hope you're well. I really hope you're doing well. Tough times, I understand that, and a bit scary. So let's try and do something to lighten the mood. Now, we are having a little bit of a heat wave here. The weather is glorious. So we're in the garden. My family are out there at the moment, chilling out. So I've run in to do a quick video. Now, I've fallen way behind schedule. There's loads and loads of videos that I want to get done. There's loads that have been requested, which we're trying to get done as well. But what I wanted to do is, when it gets hotter every year, up until the last couple of years, I've always struggled to find a fragrance for the summer. So I tend to quite often wear fragrances that I would wear all year round, but just wear them in a different way, wear them lightly or whatever. But this time I'm actually going to do a list, and there's going to be a few of these lists. So this one here is not exhaustive, where I do a quick tour through some of my summery fragrances. Now, they're not in any order, but obviously there's going to be a number one. You know what that's going to be already, but I'm still going to go through the pantomime of making it a surprise. So no clue, no prizes for guessing what my number one summer fragrance is. But what I've done with this particular batch, we're mixing some expensive niche with some real cheapies, because I think there's some fantastic bargains to be had out there, some that we know and we've forgotten about. So let's start. Okay, first off, no summer listing can ever be talked about without Mancera Cedrat Boise. Love this fragrance. This is absolutely blinded in the summer. It just comes alive. It bounces off your skin. It's fresh, it's sweet, it's woodsy, it's lemony. There's berries in here. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. A complete workhorse, can wear anytime, any place, anywhere. Cedrat is perfect, and you can see how much I've smashed with this bottle. Lovely, lovely stuff. Really worth having. Okay, next up, something that I don't talk about very often, and I don't really wear it that often until it starts getting hot, and that is this, and that's Century by Dunhill. I always thought this was kind of like a noisy little brother to Icon, and now I obviously love Icon, and so does Rich. I mean, I'm on my third or fourth bottle of Icon. I don't wear this one so much. I prefer Icon in all honesty, but this is fizzy on my skin. There's all sorts of notes in here. There's Neroli, there's a bit of orange blossom, there's sandalwood. The dry down is lovely, actually. It's some people are kind of thinking it's got a bit of that Santal 33 vibe to it when it dries down, and I can see where you're coming from with that one, but this is really nice. I love this on a warm day. It zings off your skin. So, and also the other good thing with Century rather, is it's incredibly cheap now. I don't think it's sold very well, so you can pick this up for mega bargains, and the bottle is beautiful. I mean, I've had this, I think, 2 years now, so you can see I don't wear it a lot, but every now and again I think, this would be perfect. So yeah, well worth looking at, especially at the price you can get it for now. Very cheap. Okay, next up, a more expensive one. And I've mentioned this on quite a few occasions, and this is Fiero from the Casamorati collection by Xerjoff. This is a stunning fragrance. It's a classic. It has a beautiful Amalfi lemon opening, which is backed up by lemongrass to make it ever so fresh. It's got great performance. It really projects to kick off with. Very grown up, quite a mature fragrance. I think one for the more mature fragrance enthusiast, although I think some of you young thrusters out there will really enjoy this as well. And you can also get this in a 30ml bottle as well. So if you wanted to dip your toe in the water and try it without spending sort of big money on a big bottle, get a little 30ml. I think they're about £70, and you can really sort of get a taste for the fragrance. But I thoroughly recommend this. This is a beautiful fragrance, and because of the lemongrass, it makes it really I don't know, come alive when it's hot. Okay, so that's there. Next up, a real cheapy surprise to me, and this is a Lanvin L'Homme Sport. This, to me, is just there's lavender, there's citrus, there's lemon, and it's just a really good performing fragrance. Well, not massive performance, don't get me wrong, but this is, you kind of like, if you're going for a run in the morning, or you're going to the gym or something like that, and you want to take something light with you, try it. It's a real cheapie as well. The performance isn't great. Sorry, I said that the wrong way around. The performance isn't great, but it lasts you a few hours, and it's fresh and it's clean and it's quite grown up. It's quite fun. but it's not a screaming fragrance. It reminds me a little bit of Yves Saint Laurent's Y EDT, but lighter, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit zingier. Really, really nice and mega, mega bargain. So well worth having a look at. Right, next up, we have another real cheapie, and this is SHruti 1881 Pour Homme. Very, very clear. I'm wearing this one at the moment, and it's a soapy, clean, fresh citrus. Again, it's really, really cheap. This is 100ml, and I think I paid about £13 for it. Obviously, it's been around since the 90s. There's nothing new about it. It's not exciting in that respect, but it does make you smell very clean. It seems to last on my skin for quite a long time. I get 5-6 hours out of this, and it's really nice. I love that clean soapy vibe that you get from it. The citruses and a little bit of aromatics in here make it quite interesting. It does smell dated. It doesn't smell new, but because of that, nobody seems to be wearing it. I don't hear many people talking about it, so you will be able to wear this and sort of not stand out, stand out a little bit from the crowd amongst all the Sauvage wearers and the likes. So well worth having a look at. Sorry, I've got a bit of a scratchy throat today. Well worth having a look at, especially if you're just looking for a work scent that's going to keep you smelling quite fresh for most of your working day for little money. Highly recommended. Give it a go. Right, next up, we're going to look at this, which is New York Intense by Parfums Nicolai. Now, this is an expensive niche fragrance, and I think it's an absolute work of art. It's one of the only fragrances that I actually agree with the esteemed critic Luc Turin on. I think this is a modern masterpiece. This is, again, is a long-lasting, very strong, very fresh citrus, some aromatics. There's a little bit of a powdery dry down to it. It's been compared to Creed's Bois de Portugal. I much prefer this to Bois de Portugal, and there is a full review of this down below. This is a masterpiece, a modern masterpiece, and it is amazing. It does smell quite a mature fragrance, and it's certainly masculine, although some good female friends love this fragrance. It's a boss mode fragrance. It puts you in a very strong mood, but because of the citruses in this, it just works really, really well when on a hot day, especially if you're sort of one of these people that has to go to work in a suit on a hot day. This would be, you would own the day wearing this. I cannot say enough strongly, how good I feel New York Intense is. This is a wonderful fragrance, and I just implore you to try and sample it. It is expensive. I mean, the 30ml bottles are around £50-60 mark, which you can get online. So again, get the 30ml. I will be getting probably 100ml when I finally run out of this, because this is one I never want to be without. This is a bona fide masterpiece. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Okay, next up, this is one that I share with my wife, and this is Byredo's Flowerhead. Beautiful fragrance. It is very feminine leaning, but I love it so much. The massive amount of tuberose in this just lifts it up. You will smell fresh and clean. It's tuberose and jasmine seem to be the main components in Flowerhead, and they work together phenomenally well. It has huge sillage, really strong projection, and it lasts a long time. It's an absolutely uplifting floral fragrance, very very centered on the white floral. So if you're quite a manly man or a blokey guy, you probably might like this, because I think this is really, it's a perfume, a female, very feminine perfume. But I absolutely adore this, and it smells divine. It's one that whoever's wearing it leaves such a lovely sillage. It makes every room you've been in really fresh and just, lovely. So I can't recommend this enough. It may be a little too feminine for some of the guys out there, but I think this is an absolute bomb. And for a floral to perform as well as this, it's just sublime. A really, really good fragrance there. Another one I wish I bought a 100ml bottle of, especially as I'm sharing it with my wife. Okay, next up, a real new one to me. And I've only had this a couple of days, so I haven't had a chance to wear it out in a proper heat yet, but I can tell straight away that this is going to be perfect, and that's Guerlain Homme, and this is the EDP. This is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It's often compared to smelling like a mojito because it has lime in it, it has mint in it, it's fresh, it has vetiver in the dry down, so it becomes a bit richer and a bit deeper. But I can imagine wearing this on a summer's evening sitting outside a pub with a cold beer. You will be in absolute heaven. Beautiful fragrance. My first real exploration into the house of Guerlain, I've smelt a few in store, but I don't own anything by Guerlain apart from this. And why have I waited so long to try this? Why have I waited so long to add this to my collection? This is a beautiful fragrance. I absolutely adore it. I haven't tried the EDT. This is the EDP, and I can tell you now that this lasts for hours on me. It's very projects very well for the first couple of hours. It does leave a wonderful sillage, and then it kind of comes and sits down onto your skin where you get sort of little whiffs of it every now and again. But it does last all day. Really impressive stuff. So well worth a look at. And for you know, a fragrance of this quality, where it sits in the price range, about 50, 60 pounds a bottle. Have a look. Honestly, if when the store's open, please go in. I mean, you can get this pretty much everywhere that carries Guerlain, so you're not going to have, you know, struggle too hard to find it, to sample it. Highly recommended this. As I say, it's a new one for me, and I've absolutely fallen head over heels in love with it. So please try and give that a sample. So that is Guerlain Homme EDP. Beautiful fragrance. Right, let's move it on. Another new one to me. And this is Boucheron Pour Homme. Now, I got this on the back of buying Jaipur, which I loved. And so, you know, a lot of people said, you need to try this one as well. So I got it. And it's lovely. Really, really nice. I don't think it... a lot of people say it lasts really well. This is the EDP. It does seem to last on me, but very softly. It's quite loud in the beginning. In fact, it's often compared to New York Intense. Now, I can see why people will say that, but I have to be honest, I much prefer New York Intense. This just has the performance that this doesn't. Although they don't smell alike side by side, I can see why people do think they do, because they do a similar thing. Again, this is a citrus aromatic, quite an old school vibe, quite an old school cologne feel to it, but it does make you feel clean, it makes you smell fresh. It's a nice perfume. I really like this, and I'm looking forward to wearing this more and more as it goes on. Also, value-wise, this is very, very good. You're getting a 100ml bottle here for sort of around £25, something like that. So you're not going to go wrong with it. And it's a beautiful bit of presentation as well. I will actually do a full review of this one, and this one, and this one as well. And probably... these two will get a full review on their own, off their own back, because I think, you know, it's important to try and get as much information out there as we can about these fragrances. So that's where we are with this, and I'll obviously get a full review of this one up as soon as I can. But what I wanted to do is just get a good, nice long list out for you guys to have a look at. So we're down to my final 3 summer fragrances for this list, and needless to say, they're all going to be quite big hitters. So this one here we have Amouage Beach Hut Man, which is an absolute mega fragrance, one of the longest lasting fragrances I own. This minty, green, fresh, beautiful, potent, powerful marriage of mint and orange blossom. It's just delightful. I never can get my head around why they call it Beach Hut Man, but I absolutely adore this one. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's one of the first fragrances that I actually did a review on. Rich really likes this as well. So if you want a bit more information about Amouage Beach Hut Man, please go down. This is absolute perfection. You can wear this any time of year, but in the summer, because of the minty and the freshness of it, it's just amazing. The performance is biblical. This will last and last and last. I've said it on many times when I've spoken about this before. When I apply this to go to work, when I come home from work, I still smell as fresh as when I left the house in the morning, which is perfect. And there's very few fragrances that I can say can do that. Amazing stuff. Expensive, but worth it. You don't need a lot either. The performance is that strong. So there we have Amouage Beach Hut Man. The number 2, back to Parfums de Nicolai, and this is Cap Neroli. Now, when I reviewed this, I did quite a lengthy explanation as to how I ended up buying this, because I've fallen for the Neroli as a note, and I used to love Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, Ferraris. What's the Ferrari one called? Ferrari's Bright Neroli, I really like that one as well, but I'm never getting great performance from anything with Neroli in until someone recommended this, and this is a Neroli bomb. It's beautiful. It's very much in the same world as New York Intense. It has that kind of powdery vibe to it. It's a little sweet, a little sour. It's very citrusy, obviously with the Neroli in it, which is definitely the star of the show. But what this does that no other than Neroli-based frags does that I've got is it lasts and lasts and lasts. Really good performer, incredible fragrance, and just it's just to die for. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, it's a 30ml bottle, and I've hammered it, absolutely hammered it. So I'm going to need another one of these before the summer hits properly. So there we have my number 2 choice for the summer, and possibly certainly my number 1 choice for anything with Neroli in it at all. This is a beautiful fragrance. There is a full review of it below, so please have a look. And finally, surprise! Yes, you've guessed it. Orto Parisi's Bergamask, my #1 fragrance for the summer, and probably my #1 fragrance for all year round. In the summer, this explodes. It comes alive. It just fills up rooms with its amazing bonkers bergamot, musk, aroma chemicals, just an assault on everybody's senses. Gets compliments like nothing on earth. My most complimented fragrance. I used to think it kind of tied with Thomas Kosmala's #4, but this has pushed itself way out into the front. I absolutely love this and I cannot imagine living without it. I feel that passionate about it. You will need to sample it. Some people hate it, but it gets compliments like nothing on earth and it lasts. It's a proper traditional beast mode fragrance, and there's very, very few of them when it comes to summer frags. So if you want some bergamot in your life, some musk in your life, and everybody around you to tell you constantly how wonderful you smell, get yourself a bottle of Bergamask. Caveat, please sample it first. Not everyone does love it, but it's just an amazing musky, very, very exciting, fun, action-packed fragrance that just brightens up your life. It really, really does. Anyway, talking of brightening up my life, I'm going to go and rejoin the family for a game of football in the garden. And that's it really. Hope you're well. More videos will be coming. Thank you so much for your support. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Your time is very precious and we are so happy that you wish to share it with us. It makes me and Rich so happy to get these videos out and for them to be appreciated by the wonderful people like yourselves. So listen, thank you for your time. Stay safe, stay sane. Hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on Facebook, ask us any questions, send me direct messages, no problem at all. Whatever you want to know, if I can answer it, I will more than happily answer it and spend some time chatting with you. So listen, once again, take care, thank you, and bye!